Hello. 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 Jacques Marceau about to read a story of Lifter. If a furthermore of Jacques' novel to the inner west on the boost. In the boosting cars of once was boosting Brett and a whole heap of others, but Lifter. I must just say juice him right up because if it's gonna go on, it'll go on. Mr. Jack Blackley tells Jacques, right, you're up. A job has come up where he is explaining about an incident at Macquarie Pass in Wollongong where a car club rep was drifting and crashed into a motorcycle club MC Sergeant of Arms who was riding down Macquarie Pass. He broke Terry's leg. Luckily, Terry had his GoPro. And understandably, but the car fled. But back up in the Shire, the car club is tracked down. And the bike club lift the car. They take the car to Madden's Plains and rally it to the death, where the video is of me at Boomerang Golf Course. Simple understands where Madden's Plains is. It's in Dark's Forest, just outside of Sydney. It was a hot spot. I was quite the understandable newsreader, and I do pay attention in class. It goes on and on. They rallied it, and then they burned it out. The car club, furious. They were furious with that. It was the car club's president's little brother's car. But he broke Terry's leg, so you think he broke Terry's leg, it's sort of karma. They're on GoPro. You're lucky they didn't go to the cops. You go to jail, Mr. Drifter. The car club, they send scouts out. This is the sad part. The car club sends scouts out. They're like, that MC, he mustn't have understood. We got camera at the place and saw the MC. Oh, they send scouts out. Like Gymea Hotel fire around 2001, 2002, 2003 or whenever it was. Somewhere around there. They did an insurance job on the place. Anyway, it turns out that they burned the bar down. And that was just enough. The MC Club, furious, turn around and say, look, we won't just start lifting their cars for some kind of salvation. We're going to do it in a way where we will make a difference in their lives. They're all running legit legal stuff, but boosts, and they start boosting their cars so they can turn around and collect tickets at night time through fixed cameras. Fixed camera tickets at high speeds and all sorts of stuff in camera zones upon number plates. Number plates. And then it turns around and they take it on. So from that, something crazy happens. The MC Club, not even enough with their actual stuff of the cars. They turn around and they get onto their connections in the sports games and they abduct some of the actual car club. Coming in, back on, the fucking car club start getting abducted. The car club starts to get abducted from the actual world itself. Taken to the MC's connector into brain research for some kind of retractable look back where they have the car club members in a machine. And this is where Mr. Jack Blackley has turned around and said, well, what we're going to do here for why Jacques on the job, he goes in to be one of the abducted because he can handle that. It's like he's a land walker. You follow the story from the start on the Jacques novel. You see he's already part of the lab, bada bing, bada boom. He turned around, he's the car club's next victim. From that, the MC that gets abducted. And then from that, it goes into it, and the car club, well, they're not really onto it that much. So they're turning around, and Jacques is getting details and locations on all this different stuff to help save the actual life of life. And the car club are down the Snowy Mountains. They're down the Snowy Mountains for the 1000, the drag race, and the car show at the football oval / Coomerain Stallion Oval. And they turn around and they're there for Mount Gladstone hill climb for the 40-second plus from the base to the top, through the cones and around the cones and in and all of the goods. And I turned around and the bike club turned up in numbers. The bike club really turned up in numbers. Thousands, and I mean thousands in numbers. As it turns around from that, they turned up in numbers. But it's from the Stephen Walters Foundation in the understands of that big ride to play on the actual pictures of the news, and they still have it. They can use bits like coming down the Mad Mile and they're on toe to toe, lock to lock, bike, double bikes, two, all the way through. But there's different bits. They're on that. And then there's the Phillip Island Grand Prix. They go for that as well. And there's the police charity ride. They do that as well. But this gets better. They turn up and they're like, whoa, what are we going to do? And they're like freaking out. They're like, shit, this is going to world war itself. We've just got to get in the way because the car club turned around and went to the cops, and the cops are aware of it already. They're like freaking out. So they get the military. And I'm not joking, they get the military. And they have the Duntroon, well, from the actual understanding of Cooma military in Cooma, Duntroon military at the racecourse or on Radio Hill and different bits around to be on places of scouts and their toys and their boys and girls and all the good funds of military trainings for Australian cadets or for furtherment of armed forces or wherever they may be. They may even be at Loftus, or they may be at Duntroon, or maybe at Albatross. They may be anywhere. As they go in for furthermore without wasting your time on my chin wagon, they get into it. And it goes. They're on that. They get the military. And the police call back up on the police, but they say the COVID TV when they locked off the border. And they had the border locked off. That went even better because they had all the motel photos from the actual Express newspaper in the Murrumbidgee Post as well, I think they called it. They go into it, and it goes into the furtherment to turn around. And they put a big stronghold up, and they started taking the actual bikes on, and that the military and police. And they furthered it, and they turned around and they extinguished it. They extinguished it in the way of it, and the bikes left and the cars left. But understandably for the ones that were abducted, for the retractable look back, well, that's where Jacques had stepped in, and Mr. Jack Blackley and the team of the lab. And they turn around from that, and he turned it up, and he turns around and says, right, we're in full SWAT type survey, like into the actual connector, SWAT type takedown units into their actual facility because of the loco trackers and all the rest of the bouncers, even if they have spare, like block-offs and everything. They get in there, full reconnaissance, like that of Nightmare of Nursing Home horrors within Jacques' novel or Jacques. I go into it all like, it's crazed. It's like they turn around and they're like, Sharks, Mr. Jack Buckley waking him up back in the lab. It's sort of like the actual understanding of a Minority Report, but it's still like a little bit based to Australia and a bit of entertainment to say, I'm bored. Like, I'm bored in sign language for the deaf. Across your lips from your thumb to your index is like pushing in, pulling out like that is bored. There's nothing to do. Anyway, that's about it. And they turn around from it. Let's go down the cafeteria again on this episode. And he goes, well, I tell you, it is a something. Thank God you were there to take it on. But that's about that. And that's why I do this one, because there's more to the actual story than just the understandings of in the inner west for the Jacques novel, or in the actual one of the other one as Boosting Brett and all the rest. There's just more to it. And this one's heaps better. It's got heaps more stuff. It's much more better. And I don't just say that because I want to waste 8 minutes of your time. But that's about it.